Alright guys, now I'm not a content creator, so I don't care about views, I don't care about my relationship towards Bungie employees or getting invited to events or whatever, but I'm honestly just so sick and tired of Bungie not understanding their own game and, quote, solving problems in ways that don't actually solve the problem, in a way that doesn't make any sense, that they don't understand, and they're just being stupid. Like, I truly... What broke... The straw that broke my camel's back, because I'm a big fat camel, is today's changes on the portal. Now, there has been community sentiment that the portal is unfun because we're essentially forced to use negative modifiers such as no HUD or enemies drop fire or anything that changes our experience, and the problem is that despite the portal being advertised as play your way, we are using kind of a set stock standard set of modifiers in order to do the least in order to gain the most. So their answer to this problem is to add listed delta caps for each difficulty. Now, I don't care about the noob difficulties, but let's just talk about ultimate. So their solution to our problem of not being able to play our way is to remove the negative scaling from negative modifiers in terms of power and add a base minus 30 across the board. I have done some LFG Heffen farms, and this confirms what I'm saying. A lot of you people in the community truly don't understand how to make modifiers in the portal. I don't know if you just can't read or like you're just stupid, but it's not good. So let's say I'm on Heffen right now. I'm currently 526 power. Currently with no modifiers, I'm at a C+, and my combatant power is 500. You want to get into like B+ to get guaranteed tier 5s and everything. So these are the modifiers you put on. Pressure cooker, brawn, you put on pick the least annoying Bane to play against, and all of these kind of suck balls because great, so let's pick that one. And then, this is a truly difficult decision. Do I want enemies to do 50% void damage to me, or do I want them to leave a little poop pool behind? Obviously, I just want them to leave a little poop pool behind. So I'm going to go into this with modifiers kind of looking like this. I am currently 4 levels under the cap, and I'm going to get guaranteed tier 5s on every single completion regardless. So why on earth is there a solution to make me minus 30? Is it because you guys don't know how to do this? Is it because you don't understand your own system? Like, you can probably get it lower than this, to be honest. I'm just making this a high estimate just because I know it's guaranteed if I go over halfway in B+. I probably don't even know the system. And you know what? That's another fault. Why is this stuff not explained easily, regardless? All I have to do to get guaranteed tier 5s right now is to set myself at 4 levels under combatant power. Now, this isn't amazing, but like I don't have anything annoying, like I don't have no HUD on, or I don't have extinction on, or anything like that. But in whenever 9.1.5.1, I'm going to be set at negative 30 guaranteed regardless, and I'm going to get the same rewards as I currently am being 4 levels under leveled. Why? It doesn't make sense. Why are we artificially making the game harder for people who know what they're doing because some people don't know what they're doing? It's not like they have some magical brain worm that prevents them from putting on correct portal modifiers. All they have to do is know what they're doing, and they can do exactly this. From 5, it's not like because I'm high level it works. At 500 I can do the same exact thing because it scales with your level. So that's problem 1. And there's solution 1, which sucks balls. Now let's go into why this sucks even bigger balls than originally thought. So the only reason you want to level up is so that you can get higher tier weapons and higher tier armor. Now the reason you want higher tier weapons and higher tier armor is because they do set bonuses, and they do a higher % damage resistance and damage based on what you have. If I have a tier 5 kinetic slot weapon, which I do, it's 10% extra damage. If I have that same thing as an armor, it's 15% damage resistance over the 5. Now, this is great because when I do hard content, I like being better at the game. So I put in this time in order to get these better rewards, in order to be better at the harder parts of the game. But guess what? Guess what? The poop cherry on top of the excrement sundae is found somewhere in here in the ban list, in which they said that we are disabling weapon damage and damage resistance bonuses from featured gear. So you're telling me in the only content in this game that matters, which is contest rating, because who cares about anything else? The only reason endgame players play this game is for contest rating. Our power grind, getting these higher tier weapons and armor, doesn't matter. And this is the second one in a row it doesn't matter because original DP contest was disabled. And that one I could sweep under the rug because the system just came out. You don't want to prioritize people like me who have no job and just sit here on game all day. So whatever. But this one we've had a month to get high power. I don't grind power. I don't care. I've just been farming for mints and I'm 526. Like, The only reason I'm farming for higher tier gear is to get my extra damage, but it's not active in the only content that matters. So I can equip a tier 1 mint, and it will do exactly the same damage as my tier 5 mint. But, okay, but then you're like, okay, so then why am I leveling up in power? I'm leveling up in power so that I can do higher power portal activities, which give me higher power, which allow me to do higher power portal activities. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's horrible. And guess what? Now, the higher power you get, the more annoying it's going to be, because I'm locked to minus 30. So I'm literally only leveling up so that I can do higher level portal activities, which don't matter because contest raids don't care. And then when I get higher, it means it's going to be less fun. So what is the reason to engage with the portal system? You engage with the portal system so that you can further engage with the portal system. It is stupid. Why? I don't want to engage with the portal system. I want to get higher tier gear so that I can do higher tier activities. Here, have we ever considered that maybe we can put out a raid that requires a certain power level that isn't 200? Oh no, the 4 people who don't play the game and want to raid once and get carried by whoever can't play it. Why is it so difficult to make hard content that requires hard gear? My 48 hours every 6 months do not care what power I am. Why am I grinding for it? Because I thought they would, but they don't. And now that I'm 526, I'm going to have to play minus 30. This is just the latest example that broke me about how they don't understand the problems that they have, because the current problem with Portal, as I've stated, is that we are using set modifiers that we don't want to use, and we are picking them because they are the most efficient. In the change they're making, we are still going to pick the modifiers that are most efficient, because you still need to pick modifiers to get higher score. I don't care that poop pile no longer gives me plus 10. I'm still picking poop pile over 25% decreased outgoing damage, or matched, your ability generation is reduced. I would rather just not step on pile of burning poop than just have reduced ability generation. But these are both equal in the new system because they don't know what they're doing, obviously. Oh my god, do I want my character to be railed from behind by a stasis enemy, unable to move and get killed by whatever AoE? No, I want to step on flaming poop pile. So guess what? In next system, I'm still going to step on flaming poop pile. But now I'm going to be doing it at minus 30 instead of minus 4. The only positive modifier that anybody actually liked to use that changed the gameplay of Portal was Grappler. They removed it immediately. This is how you solve the Portal problem. You give positive modifiers and negative modifiers that dramatically change the way you want to play at equally balanced values to make it fun. Let's use Grappler for an example. I want to use, for example, a modifier that is like air superiority but reverse. So you take more damage while you're standing still, how about? And then I apply Grappler so that I'm always in the air grappling. And then that's kind of like a cool little system. And then how about another positive modifier that makes me do more damage while I'm in the air? So now I've just built a system that the negative is I take more damage while I'm on the ground. But the positive is that I'm in the air and do more damage. Oh, let's not forget that when you're in the air, you have decreased accuracy because of AE, but, that's just besides the point. So let's just say in that example. So that's how I would fix the Portal. I would fix the Portal by adding modifiers that make it more fun by introducing trade-offs. Destiny Rising does this perfectly. If I load up the Expanse, or not the Expanse, well, I guess, if I load up anything in the 9 realm in Destiny Rising, I get choices of modifiers. One of them, for example, is like, deal 300% extra ability damage, but weapons are banned. That's what the Portal should be. I should be going into the Portal and see a modifier that says, deal 300% extra weapon damage, but abilities are banned, or the other way around. Or, your super charges 100% faster, but you lost your grenade. Do you see how that's an interesting way to trade off? And you can pick something. You can come up with infinite examples. I don't care what it is. But that's what the Portal should do. I should be able to go into the Portal and make the exact type of content I want to make and play in a unique way. I cannot do that now, and I will not be able to do that in 9.1.51. And in fact, when that update comes out, I'm going to have less fun because I'm going to be minus 30. It doesn't make sense. Furthering on to what I'm saying, they don't understand the problems they make. With the introduction of how not swap works, if I'm running my DPS loadout, which is this, and I swap this mod, I lose everything. But if I swap these mods, nothing changes. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to spawn in like this, and then I'm going to go into my menu, and I'm going to do this. This doesn't change, this doesn't change, these don't change, but I have surges now. And that's the only reason people swap to begin with. Like, Jesus Christ, if you don't understand the problems that swapping loadouts have, then don't create a solution that doesn't address the problems. And I'm plugging in a controller. I also never, ever, ever want to hear again about controller players crying that not swap is needed because they can't swap. This is what it looks like to swap on M&K. I pull up my character's inventory, I hit to the side, and I scroll over to it. But on my trusty little controller, all I have to do is press button, D-pad, and it spawns in the cursor on the loadouts. This is literally easier. This is literally easier to do than on M&K. And secondly, I don't want to hear the PS4 can't loadout swap at the same speed as PC ever again. I don't care that Jimmy Shoe 420 on his Poverty Station 4 can't pull up his menu as quick as me because Jimmy Shoe 420 is not competitive in the raid race. Some guy on PS4 is not winning the contest raid. That is not happening. I will sit here on stream and eat a sock if anybody on last gen ever wins a raid race in the history of Destiny 2, because it will not happen. I don't even think they would get top 100 in a raid that probably only 95 teams are going to actually compete in. It is absurd. It is absurd to hear. There is absolutely no reason to have not swap. You want to know how I would fix not swap? I wouldn't fix not swap, because knowing what loadouts to swap to and when is a knowledge gap. If I and player B were equally talented and I knew how to swap to what and when, then I am better than player B. It's not a hard skill to learn. It's just a skill gap. It's not a I see people online, randoms, who are too horrendous to get past the Wyvern in Contest Desert Perpetual, and they're trying to say the reason they couldn't do it is because loadout swapping is cheese. Guess what? If loadout swapping is cheese and easy, then why can't you do it? Because it is not. It is just a knowledge gap. It's because you are a stupid person and can't figure out what to do. I don't know if your fingers don't work or if your brain doesn't work, but one of those two should be addressed, and it shouldn't be at my expense. And it's just stupid. It's really, really stupid. And it's getting me mad. Finally, I want to bring up PvP. Because PvP has been the plague of them not understanding what they've been doing for the end of time. It is so annoying. Now, I'm just pulling up my stupid Crucible report so that some burger in here doesn't tell me that I suck at the video game. The biggest example in Destiny history of not understanding the problem and making a solution to fix it is end of Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 PvP meta. At the end of Destiny 1, competitive PvP players were asking for a more primary-focused meta, and that's because special weapons were oppressive and annoying at the time because there was too much ammo. So instead of buffing primaries to make them more viable, they removed special ammo. And they're doing the same exact thing right now. When I load into PvP, you know what I'm using? I'm using the Diddy Pulse. The Diddy Pulse rifle with a 0.6 time to kill. I ego chow golden guns. But guess what? I'm using no special weapon to counter it. Imagine if I could get sniped. If I could get sniped, then guess what? Diddy Pulse isn't so good. It's annoying. Bungie continually misunderstands their game fundamentally and creates solutions that don't address the problem. I am sick and tired of this, and it is miserable that every single update they push out is 2 steps back, maybe 1 wheelchair wheel forward. It's really annoying, and I had to yell at somebody. Goodbye.